former EFF National Chairperson Advocate Dali Mpofu says he's defected to Umkhonto weSizwe party to fulfill his political agenda. He also says he says that he was part of the party, that he was part of the establishment of the party a year ago. However, former First MK Party's national organizer MacDonald Mathabe has dismissed Mpofu's claims, and Mathabe is now joining us here in studio. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Why are you dismissing this claim?
It's lies. In fact, President Zuma never wanted Dali Mpofu to be part and parcel of the formation of MK Party. I'm the one that spoke to him, and I said to him, like, President Zuma, the battle that lies ahead is beyond me and you. And the fact is that we are taking a name that belongs to, that is associated with the ANC. The ANC is going to come to us very hard. Mm-hmm. So it is best that we involve Dali Mpofu with the processes of the administration and the documentation of MK Party, so that when that time actually comes, Dali Mpofu is abreast with what is happening. Besides, SC Dali Mpofu is already doing some of the work for you on pro bono on all of your cases around the country. He's always in the courts with you and all of that. So let's bring him. He then raised the aspect of EFF, and I said, yeah, it's a serious problem. It's something that we can look into and try and manage it as we go. So I then requested a meeting with the SC Dali Mpofu and SC Skakani. When myself and comrade Ace Magashule were on our way back from meeting President Zuma about the aspects of MK Party, when Ace Magashule was showing vehemently that he does not want to participate in MK Party, I requested the two senior counsels that we have a meeting with him and that we try and stop him from registering or going ahead with his party. And the meeting, we had it at the Dumanokwe, the chambers, myself, Ace Magashule, SS Kakane, as well as SC Dali Mpofu. It was for the first time that the two senior counsels, when they started to know about the formation of MK Party.
What was the date there? Do you remember?
It was around August.
So this would be
August, yes.
August 2023?
Yes, 2023.
Okay.
But before that, myself as well as comrade Ace, church leaders as well as tribal kingdoms have been approaching us, particularly comrade Ace when he was still the Secretary General of MK Party. When they're saying, you see that you are being ostracized, you see that you are being attacked, and you have already been charged, there is only one-way ticket for you. You are going to be expelled. Now, your situation as well as the situation of President Zuma is almost the same. This was about 2 years ago. At the time, President Zuma was in Cuba for health issues, and then from Cuba, then he went to Russia. He did not know anything about that, President Zuma. Right?
This would have been in 2022? This
was in 2022.
Okay.
Right? Even before the actual national elections of the ANC.
The National Conference of the ANC.
Yes, of the ANC. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, the tribal kingdoms, the traditional leaders, as well as churches and certain individuals were already talking to Ace. And I was setting up these meetings and saying, Comrade Ace, the fate that is facing you and many of the other comrades is clear where we're going. And I think there is wisdom in what they are proposing. We then said to them, we can do all of that, and also they must canvass and mobilize President Zuma when he gets back, that he becomes part and parcel of this process.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you recall what the purpose was to set up this political party? I don't know whether the name had been decided at the time, speaking about now 2 years back before the ANC's elective conference, but do you recall what the purpose of this party was?
Okay, the purpose of MK Party was that look at the democratic processes within the ANC, okay, have been hamstrung. All right, they are no longer doing what they are supposed to be doing, which is protecting each and every member. If you are an ordinary member, you don't have much of a say anymore, practically. What we need to do, we need to now create, an alternative political party that will go back to the people and talk to the people. Since the ANC has also detached, from the masses itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this would have happened in 2022. 2023, December 16, is the launch of Umkhonto we Sizwe political party. We'll go back to the matter relating to Advocate Dali Mpofu. During that press briefing, this is what former President Jacob Zuma says. Yeah. It has become clear that this organization is no longer the organization that we grew up knowing. It is for this reason that those of us who will never forsake or abandon the ANC feel that it's necessary that we undertake the process to rescue the ANC from the wrong hands and bring it back to the people and restore its former glory. So that wouldn't have been the same purpose, right?
It certainly was.
So you're forming this political party which is an alternative to the ANC to save the ANC?
Precisely. All of us, we are coming from the ANC. And we even encouraged people that we're working with to renew or to continue to pay their subscription of the ANC. Because at some point, we need to find common ground and go back to the ANC. That is why when we speak about the aspect of the dual membership, we conceptualized it very well, myself as well as President Zuma. And we said that we should ask members to understand where we are coming from. We are coming from the ANC. We don't hate the ANC. We love the ANC. We don't like what the ANC is doing currently. That is why, since we no longer have a voice within the ANC, we are going to create our own voice. And at some point, we must sit down with the leadership of the ANC and work out the differences and take the organization, ANC, back to the masses, back to the people to decide on.
And this was with the religious leaders as well?
With the religious leaders.
You yesterday in your interview with 702 as well, you did mention that the former president didn't want Advocate Dali Mpofu to form part of the political party. Here's a statement that the party issued yesterday. It says here, Office of the President, Umkhonto we Sizwe political party, Advocate Dali Mpofu participated in and internalized the revolutionary agenda to unify the progressive forces. Long before the official announcement of Umkhonto we Sizwe party on the 16th of December, he played a crucial role in the many underground dialogues and engagements that were held with different political parties and individuals on the need to unite the progressive forces in South Africa to fight the reintroduction of the white minority rule in South Africa. That is what the former president is saying. So the former president and Advocate Dali Mpofu seem to be singing from the same hymn sheet, which is different to what you are saying.
It's understandable. I'm not the founder of MK Party. And I also say that President Zuma is not the founder of MK Party. His name does not even appear on the founding documents, even at IEC. It is the tribal kingdoms, the churches, and certain individuals that went to him, which he knows very well. That canvassed him. He did not want to be part of this process in the beginning. The process of mobilizing President Zuma took about 3 months to get him to agree. It was...
When? Is it 22?
It was in 22 late and early 23.
Okay.
When the negotiations between him, the tribal kingdoms, as well as individuals, that he must come and join. Because he said, I've always said that I will die in ANC. And there is no way else where I can go. We have to find ways and means in between to actually do that. The expulsion of Comrade Ace Magashule also had a lot to do with actually convincing him to say that we need to actually really now.
Okay. So are you saying then that former President Jacob Zuma is also lying?
He's also lying, and he knows very well that.
He's also lying.
He's also lying. Yes.
There's a letter that you had sent to Umkhonto weSizwe political party on the 21st of August. In that letter, page 2 of that letter, you write that at a meeting, President Zuma told us that he got information that we are planning to register a political party with Comrade Ace Magashule. His Excellency told us that he had already started the process of registering with a process of registering a political party through a third-party person.
Yes.
So, could this not also be true that actually there was already a process, as you indicate here, to start a political party, even though it was not the same process as you guys were following at the time?
Remember, myself and Comrade Ace were privy to the meetings before President Zuma by the tribal kingdoms as well as the church leaders. And we then requested those institutions to go to President Zuma and to canvass him. And at that time, when they canvassed him, the canvassing was happening, the going through and for, Comrade Ace felt that on his own, that look, I need, to open a party that will represent the people from his side. At that time, he also had the following, and it was clear that he is being pushed out of the ANC. And yes, of course, when President Zuma requested this meeting, it was months before Ace actually agreed to meet with President Zuma. At some point, I had to force Comrade Ace to say, Comrade Ace, the president has been calling. At that time, I already knew myself that that is the direction, that is what he needs to do to speak to Comrade Ace.
Yes, but the point is that there was already a process to start a political party outside of what you were going to propose.
That is what he said, President Zuma.
But that's what you are saying in this letter to him as well.
Exactly, that is what he said.
So could that not be the same political party conversations that would have taken place with Advocate Dali Mpofu?
No.
Do you think?
No, that was not.
Okay.
Comrade Dali Mpofu did not know about MK Party. And in our meeting between me, him, Ace, as well as Esses Kakane, he was actually shocked that he's been working with President Zuma so close, but President Zuma did not tell him. And that it is me that actually brings him on board into that. And I then said to him, issues of underground and his position and all of that, we need to afford him that latitude that he makes certain decisions based on the circumstances at hand. And that you are an EFF member and you are representing him. And there is this direction that we are taking. But I'm going to introduce you to this process myself, which I did.
Julius Malema also yesterday in the podcast with Aldrin Mathabe from the EFF speaks about months and months of the conversations that would have taken place even before the launch of Umkhonto weSizwe political party. You say that you only spoke to Advocate Dali Mpofu in August of 2023.
Yes.
How could we have only found out in August of 2023 if conversations have been happening months ahead? In even calling other political parties, small political parties, including the ATM, to say, let's collapse the EFF and other political parties that will form part of this new political party that would be formed. According to Julius Malema, the ATM said, actually, let's do it the other way around. Let's rather collapse into the EFF because it already has national structures.
First of all, Julius Malema was not in our meetings. He also found out after Dali Mpofu found out. On that same day, Dali Mpofu informed him.
August 2023.
That's it. So when he says months and months and all of those, never. There's no such a thing. It's a lie. All right? And in that process, after I brought in Dali, I said, the value that I must create is this. Let's bring all our comrades, as per talk with President Zuma, that I had with him, that we bring all comrades that are on the left, but particularly, firstly, comrades that were members of ANC that branched out, right? And then that was the first phase. Then the second phase, it will be other parties that do not come out of the ANC. So here we're talking about PAC, AZAPO, we're talking about UDM, we're talking about ARETA, we're talking about ACT. And we arranged for a meeting, and this meeting took place in Forest Town at President Zuma's residence. In that meeting, the attendees was Ace Magashule, representing ACT. It was Comrade Carl Niehaus, representing ARETA. It was a Comrade General Bantu Olomisa, representing UDM. It was Comrade Zungula, who was representing ATM. It was EFF, represented by Floyd, as well as Marshall, as well as a PAC, Tembakoti was represented by his treasurer as well as his secretary. The president of PAC could not make it. That is why we had to meet the president of PAC alone after that event.
Yeah.
Because,
do you think perhaps maybe what could have happened here is that you guys were actually politically outmaneuvered?
By whom?
By former President Jacob Zuma.
It's possible, yes. He played all of us. He fooled all of us. He told us that what we are doing it for the people and for South Africa. Let's all work together. And ukuhamba phezu kwamagama wakhe ubaba uNcamalala was that abantu kuzomela ukuthi bonke sihambe siyobachazela why we are forming MK Party. And it's all the people that have been thrown away from the ANC must come and join MK Party. We are not going to do that as MK Party. We are going to unite the people, and the people themselves will choose the leadership that they want there. What we must refrain from doing is to get leaders from other political parties who are not even participating or who are not even members of MK Party to come and take over MK Party. But unfortunately, these are one of the things that are happening.
Have you been expelled?
No, I've not.
So what happened on the 7th of April? Are you still a member of the MK Party?
Oh yes, I'm still a member of the MK Party, alongside with the First Secretary General, Tandukolo Gobashev, Joto. The bone of contention regarding the removal of myself, as well as Comrade Gobashev Joto, was around the issues of the party list for candidate nominations of people.
So you're removed from that title as national organizer, but you still remained a member of the party?
Still remained a member of the party.
Did you challenge that?
No, I did not challenge it.
So why did you send this letter to the former president? What is it that you'd like to achieve with this?
One has to be organizational first. You can't just go out and fight the organization, with the legal process and even with the media before you actually engage the actual organization that you are part of it. And it would have been irresponsible of us, myself as well as Comrade Gobashev, in spite of the fact that President Zuma has done wrong on us, that we take him head on at the eve of the elections. We were responsible for creating the hype and mobilizing people around MK. If now it becomes us during that point in time, and we speak about the unfortunate things that are happening within MK, it would have destroyed the morale and the momentum that MK Party was in. So we had to be responsible in our action. We had to say, look, what has happened was unfair, was unlawful, was wrong. Let's sit down, Comrade Gobashev, as we have been requested.
And since then, they haven't responded to
this? They have not responded.
So what's your course of action? What's next?
The course of action is that, firstly, let me go back a little bit. Before the launch of MK Party, there were battles that I personally was engaged in within the family of President Zuma and certain individuals. There are many people.
Including Tutuzi?
Yes, there are many people that are around President Zuma that you don't know of, that are so directly influential to him. These people, they wanted President Zuma to announce joining or endorsing EFF. I then said to President Zuma, you can't go that direction. If you go that direction, we would lose credibility in all sense. And especially that we have been canvassed and galvanized by the tribal kingdoms as well as the church leaders. Let's stick to that. Let's continue with MK Party, and we work out whatever that is which needed to happen. At that point in time, going to the launch, myself, Duduzile, including Dali Mpofu, because they wanted us to go the direction of EFF. So as Julius Malema said in his podcast, and even after we launched, Julius Malema said that it would have been good if President Zuma endorsed us. He would have boosted us. So from then, they were defeated as EFF individuals that are around President Zuma, of wanting President Zuma to join EFF. But the daughter is instrumental to Duduzile Zuma. Duduzile Zuma is very close with Julius Malema, with Dali Mpofu. And what is happening right now at MK Party about EFF, it's their plan in full swing. I am now convinced until someone else explains or tells me otherwise.
The plan is to collapse Umkhonto weSizwe using former members of the EFF? Is
to take over Umkhonto weSizwe Party and be governed by EFF. And that's just unfortunate what we're experiencing.
MacDonald, unfortunately, we've run out of time. Would have loved to continue this chat, but we have to go to a quick ad break. But thank you so much for making time for us. And let's wait and see how things are going to unfold for you.
Let me thank you and the listeners for having made the time for me to come here and explain.
Sure.
I wish we can have time, at least an hour, so that we take care of other issues.
Maybe we'll deal with that at a later stage.
Thank you so very much.
Still to come here on the AM Report, we're going to give you the latest from the world of sports with Andy Mahamba.